From the Sony Pictures Studios, this is Jeopardy! Now entering the studio are today's contestants. A former editor, originally from New York City, New York, Marion Arkin. An optometrist from Alexandria, Virginia, Robert Leedy. And our returning champion, an options trader from New York City, New York, Steve Sosnick, whose one-day cash winnings total $7,800. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Hi. Johnny, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Going to have fun in this half hour. We had a lot of fun yesterday in a weird sort of way. There were times when the contestants were cruising along beautifully, and then there were times when the rhythm was off just a little. Hopefully, it will be different today as Steve returns as our champion, and Robert and Marion are the challengers here to do him harm in this half hour and win a lot of money for themselves. Good luck. Here comes the Jeopardy round. And we will show you these categories: animation, exploration, conservation, transportation, approbation, and vilification. There's a theme there. Steve, start us off.
I'll try animation for 100, please.
Take a look at the monitor. Characters, seen here. Steve.
Who is Betty Boop?
Yes.
Animation for 200, please.
Yogi Bear stole picnic baskets from vacationers at this national park. Steve.
What is Jellystone, Alex?
Right.
Animation for 300, please.
Whenever he gets in a fix, he reaches into his bag of tricks. Marion.
Who is Felix the cat?
Correct.
Exploration, 100, please.
The famous greeting, Dr. Livingston, I presume, is attributed to him. Steve.
Who is Stanley?
Right.
Exploration for 200, please.
A city in what is now this state was named to honor Julien Dubuque, 23 years after his death. Steve.
What is Iowa?
Dubuque, Iowa, correct.
Exploration for 300, please.
This man, whose expedition was second to the South Pole, joined the Royal Navy in 1880, the year he turned 12. Marion.
Who is Bird?
No. Steve.
Who is Scott?
Scott, yes.
Exploration for 400, please.
In 1498, this Portuguese explorer recruited a pilot in East Africa to help him find India. No, Robert.
Who's Vasco da Gama?
That's it.
I'll have Exploration 500, please.
Gonzalo Jimenez de Quesada founded Bogota between two trips to find this mythical golden city.
Steve. What is El Dorado?
That's it.
Animation for 400, please, Alex.
Kenny gets killed on nearly every episode of this Comedy Central cartoon. Steve.
What is South Park?
Right.
Animation for 500, please.
Scooby-Doo, Shaggy, Freddy, Daphne, and Velma traveled around in a van with this name. Steve.
What is the Mystery Machine?
Good for 500. You've watched a lot of animation.
Too much with my kids. Conservation for 100, please.
It's the most abundant fossil fuel on Earth, and at current use may run out in 200 to 300 years. Steve.
What is coal?
Right.
Conservation for 200, please.
The Marine Mammal Protection Act bars the import of ivory from the tusks of these. Marion.
What are seals?
No. Steve.
What are walruses?
That's right.
Conservation for 300, please.
Answer. Daily Double. You have the most money, Steve, and this clue is for you alone. How much of that $2,600 are you going to risk?
I'll wager 1,000.
All right. Take a look at the monitor. Here comes the clue for you.
Hi, I'm environmental lawyer Robert F. Kennedy, Jr. In 1970, it was this president who established the Environmental Protection Agency.
Who is Nixon?
That's right. He's the one.
I'll take conservation for 400, please.
TCDD is the dioxin in this herbicide used during the Vietnam War. Steve.
What is Agent Orange?
That is right. 400 more for you, taking you to an even 4,000. Robert on the board with 400, Marion at minus 200, and it's break time for us. We'll come back to chat with the players after this.
They deserve minority status, or are they cheating? Watch Town Meeting Sunday at 6 on Como, ABC4.
Marion Arkin is originally from New York City, now lives in Maryland.
That's right, yeah.
Former editor who likes to hike but has a propensity to do damage to herself. In what
Correct.
way?
Well, I like to hike, but sometimes I have to ford little streams, and I do a graceful leap, but one time there was mud on the other side, and I slipped and fell flat on my face, head to toe in the mud. It's
Okay.
happened a few times.
A few times.
Yes.
Obviously, you do not discourage easily.
No, I like to hike.
Oh, well, that's good. Okay. Nice to have you with us today. Robert Levy from Alexandria, Virginia, is an optometrist by day and a rock and roll musician by night.
Correct.
Singer, musical instrument player?
Bass guitar and guitar.
Yeah?
See patients during the day and go home and change clothes and go out at night and
What do you
be
mean
crazy.
change clothes? Are you saying that the clothes you wear when you do your work as an optometrist are not the same as the ones you wear?
Actually, my practice almost is.
Almost is?
Almost.
Okay, good. Steve Sosnick from New York City is an options trader.
That's correct. I trade, my company trades a lot of equity options and index futures, and it's puts and calls on stocks, and we're always trying to guess
Now,
which way
every
they're
time
going.
I hear people talk about options, they say you've got to be very careful because you can lose your shirt. It's not a question of just saying, all right, I'll put up $100 and I can make thousands, but you can also lose thousands, right?
It's very easy to lose it all, and if you do it wrong, if you write them, you can actually lose a lot more than you put in.
Yeah, that's the danger. So be careful. All right. Let's go back to work here, Steve. Pick up your signaling button, take a look at the board, and select from the remaining categories.
Conservation for 500, please.
Last clue in the column. After escaping from a lab in Massachusetts, this European moth spread and damaged trees in the Northeast. Steve.
What is the gypsy moth?
Yes, that's the one.
Transportation for 100, please.
This alliterative term for a car with low fuel efficiency became common in the 1970s. Robert?
What is a gas guzzler?
That's it.
Take transportation for 200, please.
Found on many sport utility vehicles, it's a system where both axles provide propulsion. Steve?
What is all-wheel drive?
All-wheel or four-wheel drive? Yes.
Transportation for 300, please.
Transport that helped the Finns in the 1939-40 Winter War and helped Finn Matti Nuukkonen finish with Olympic gold. Robert?
What are snowshoes?
No. Marion?
What are skis?
Skis, that's it.
Transportation 400.
This device increases a jet plane's thrust by burning exhaust gases. Steve?
What is a ramjet?
No. Marion?
What is a turbo?
No. Correct response, what is the afterburner? Marion, select again.
Transportation 500.
It's the high-speed train that runs between New York City and Washington, D.C. No, Robert?
What is the bullet train?
No. Steve?
What is the metro liner?
Metro liner, yes, New York and Washington.
Vilification for 100, please.
Rossini said of this ring leader, he has lovely moments, but awful quarters of an hour. Robert?
So is Wagner?
Yes.
I'll have vilification for 200, please.
Mario Puzo wrote that one of these men with his briefcase can steal more than 100 men with guns. Marion?
Who's a lawyer?
Correct.
Vilification 300.
In 1984, Barbara Bush said of this woman, I can't say it, but it rhymes with rich. She later apologized. Robert?
Who's Leona Helmsley?
No. Steve?
Who is Ferraro?
Geraldine Ferraro, correct.
Vilification for 400, please.
Dorothy Parker's comment on this actress, she runs the gamut of emotions from A to B, was a joke. She was referring to Katharine Hepburn, four-time Oscar winner. Steve, back to you.
Vilification for 500.
Herman Mankiewicz said of this director, there but for the grace of God goes God. Steve?
Who is DeMille?
No. Robert or Marion? The director was Orson Welles. We have less than a minute to go. Steve?
Approbation for 100, please.
In 1982, Lenny Skutnik rescued a passenger on a crashed 737 from this D.C. river. Marion?
What is the Potomac?
You are right.
Approbation 200.
Fittingly, CNN broke the news in 1997 when this man decided to give $1 billion to the UN. Robert?
Who's Turner?
Yes, Ted Turner.
Approbation for 300, please.
Jody Williams won a 1997 Nobel Peace Prize for her efforts to ban these weapons. Robert?
What are landmines?
Right.
400, please.
In 1997, 5 decades late, 7 black soldiers received this highest award for bravery during World War II. Marion?
What is the Congressional Medal of Honor?
That's it. Now the last clue. Yeah. Japanese consul Shione Sugihara, who saved hundreds of Jews in World War II, bears the title Righteous This. He has the title Righteous Gentile. We have Robert out of the hole, Marion also. She's in second place now with 400. Steve in the lead, however, with 4,600. So Robert and Marion are going to have to work very hard in Double Jeopardy. But they will, I promise you, right after this.
First for medical news with Kathy Gertson's Health Watch. First for consumer news with Buyer Beware. First for breaking news in your neighborhood with the Air 4 response team. First for local news, Como 4 News.
Panorama City defines the essence of the Northwest retirement lifestyle. Beautiful, refreshingly comfortable, secure, and affordable. Enjoy easy access to everything the Northwest has to offer. Panorama City offers peace of mind and a superior quality of life with the continuing care services of 300 professional staff members. Arrange a personal tour and experience for yourself why Money Magazine called it one of the great places to retire. Panorama City, the essence of the Northwest retirement lifestyle.
Before we built one part for the new Dodge Intrepid, we built the whole car digitally.
Take a look at these categories for Double Jeopardy. We have celebrations, libations, assassinations, creations, adaptations. There's a theme here. Crustaceans. All right, Robert, you go first.
Take crustaceans for 200, please, Alex.
Answer. The panilla type of this is the one most often served in the United States. Have a cocktail. Robert.
What's a shrimp?
Yeah.
Crustaceans for 400, please.
Watch out for the goose type of these. They may grow attached to the hull of your ship. Marion.
What's a barnacle?
Correct.
Creations, 200.
In Chicago, in 1885, William Jenney rose to new heights when he built the first structure called this. Steve.
What is a skyscraper?
Correct.
Crustaceans for 600, please.
Crustacean, that's the title of the 1979 song heard here.
Everybody had matching towels. Somebody went under a
Robert.
dock.
What's a rock lobster?
That's it.
Crustaceans for 800, please.
The ghost type of this crustacean burrows in the sand by day and scavenges on the beach at night. Steve.
What is a crab?
That's it.
Crustaceans for 1,000, please.
Blue whales eat tons of these tiny crustaceans whose name is from the Norwegian for a fish's young. Steve.
What is krill?
Krill, correct.
Libations for 200, please.
It's the most famous cocktail we know with Singapore in its name. Robert?
What's a Singapore sling?
Yes.
Libations for 400, please.
To make a Canadian cocktail, add curacao, bitters, and powdered sugar to this Canadian liquor. Robert?
What's Canadian whiskey?
That's it.
Libations for 600, please.
According to Alexis Lichine, this Orwellian year was not a vintage year for champagne. Robert?
What is 1984?
Correct.
Libations for 800, please.
Pour gin or vodka over ice in a salt-rimmed glass and add grapefruit juice to make this canine drink. Robert?
What's a salty dog?
Yeah.
Libations for 1,000, please.
This yellow anise-flavored liqueur is an essential ingredient in a Harvey Wallbanger. Robert?
What is anisette?
No. Steve or Marion? Correct response. What is Galliano? Robert, we go back to you.
Celebrations for 200, please.
November 3rd is the national day to celebrate this, be it tuna fish or peanut butter and jelly. Steve?
What is Sandwich Day?
Yes.
Celebrations for 400, please.
Confederate Heroes Day is celebrated January 19th, the birthday of this general. Steve?
Who was Stonewall Jackson?
No. Robert?
It was Robert E. Lee.
Robert E. Lee, yes.
Celebrations for 600, please.
Appropriately, National Stress Awareness Day is observed on this date, one day after Tax Day. Steve?
What is April 16th?
Right.
I'll try adaptations for 200, please.
The two-word title of this Carl Hyacin novel became one word when Demi Moore disrobed on film. Steve?
What is striptease?
Yes.
Adaptations for 400, please.
This Bogart Bergman film is better remembered than its source, the play Everybody Comes to Rick's. Robert?
What is Casablanca?
Correct.
Adaptations for 600, please.
Kevin Kline and Joan Allen were moody indeed in this 1997 drama from a Rick Moody novel. Steve?
What is The Ice Storm?
Yes.
Adaptations for 800, please.
This film about a dying catcher based on a Mark Harris novel took its title from The Streets of Laredo. Robert?
What is Bang the Drum Slowly?
Yes.
Adaptations for 1,000, please.
The last clue in the column is the Daily Double. One of the two in this round. You've been working hard, Robert. You can move very close to Steve's lead.
Just 1,000, please.
$1,000, all right. Adaptations is the category. Here is the clue. 1951's A Place in the Sun adapts this classic American novel by Theodore Dreiser. What is an American tragedy? All right, you risk just 1,000, so you're at 2,400. Select again.
Celebrations for 800, please.
Answer. Dictionary Day, October 16th, celebrates the birthday of this American lexicographer. Look it up. Robert.
Who's Webster?
Yes.
Celebrations for 1,000, please.
This date on which World War II ended in Europe is a legal holiday in France. Steve?
What is VE Day?
We need the date.
Oh, what is June 6th?
No. Marion?
What is June 5th?
No. Correct response, what is May 8th, 1945? We're not talking about the invasion of Europe. Robert, back to you.
Assassinations for 200, please.
Answer. James Garfield died of a gunshot wound in September of 1881, as did this president in September of 1901. Steve.
Who was McKinley?
Right.
Assassinations for 400, please.
Executed in 1918, this czar has since been made a saint by the Russian Orthodox Church abroad. Robert.
Who's Nicholas?
Be more specific.
The second.
That's it.
Assassinations for 600, please.
U.S. flags flew at half-staff after this Israeli prime minister was slain in 1995. Steve.
Who was Rabin?
Rabin, yes.
Assassinations for 800, please.
Confirming this rebel's death in 1967, Fidel Castro said it was sadly true. Marion.
Who's Che Guevara?
Right.
Creations 400, please.
With about a minute to go. In 1843, Samuel Morse and Alfred Vail received $30,000 to build this between Baltimore and Washington, D.C. Robert?
With telegraph lines?
Yeah.
Creations for 600, please.
In the early 1900s, Frank Fleer first introduced this under the name Blibber Blubber. Robert?
What is gum? Bubble gum?
Bubble gum, yeah.
Assassinations for 1,000, please.
A Praetorian guard had enough of this insane Roman emperor and murdered him in 41 A.D. Marion?
Who is Nero?
No. Robert?
Who's Caligula?
Caligula, yes.
Creations for 800, please.
Answer, the other daily double. We're almost out of time, Robert. How much are you going to risk?
1,000, please.
Okay, here's the clue. In 1975, 30 years after introducing the Bic pen, Baron Marcel Bic introduced this disposable item.
Was a disposable razor?
That's it, and you're at 6,600. One more clue. Lasers are used to read this type of musical album, first sold in Japan in 1982. Sure beats a needle. Robert.
With compact disc.
That's it, and you're tied with Steve for the lead. And Marion, you got involved in a game against a couple of smoking guns who were very fast on that signaling button, unfortunately for you. And as a result, we can't keep you around for Final Jeopardy. But thanks for being here today. All right, let's take a look at those prizes for the runners-up. Johnny, go ahead.
For today's second-place contestant, you and a guest will enjoy a week in Portugal's popular resort area, Costa do Estoril. History, culture, sports, beachcombing, shopping, nightlife, it's all there in Portugal at the Quinta da Marina Hotel Village Resort. And you'll fly TAP Air Portugal, offering convenient daily service to Portugal, complete with famous Portuguese hospitality. Come and discover Costa do Estoril with TAP Air Portugal. For today's third-place contestant, thrilled to the magic of DVD technology with Panasonic's digital disc player. Cinema-quality picture and sound that leaves you breathless. Made possible by Panasonic. And now, once again, here's Alex.
Here comes Final Jeopardy. The category is organizations. We'll be back with a clue in a moment.
You're not taking one of those like Crystal Light.
For up-to-the-minute information about Jeopardy, including contestant searches, check out the Jeopardy website online at www.jeopardy.com.
It's Base Buy Week at home.
Now, nobody gets you closer, faster. From Como 4 News, the Air 4 response team. Western Washington's fastest airframe. Most advanced cameras. Nobody gets you closer to the story faster. The Air 4 response team from Como 4 News. First for local news.
Final Jeopardy category is organizations. Gentlemen, you have 30 seconds to come up with the correct response in question form to this. This women's organization, founded in 1890, was chartered by Congress in 1896. Good luck. We did our celebrity tournament at their national headquarters this past year in Washington. Let's start over here with Robert. When I said that, he made a face, a grimace.
I was there.
You were there? And what did you put down? You started out with a national organization of women, and you changed to League of Women Voters, and both are incorrect, unfortunately. What did you risk? 7,600. So you wind up with nothing. Let's go to Steve now. He had 7,600, and what did he put down? What is the League of Women Voters? How much did you risk? Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in over 14 years, we will have no returning champion because all three players wound up with no money. The correct response, what is the Daughters of the American Revolution, the DAR. 3 new players on Monday here on Jeopardy. So long.
Today's second and third place contestants will receive the Armatron All-Sport Watch Collection, inspired by a love for sport and an active lifestyle. Analog and digital displays with Insta-Light technology, water-resistant and alarm chronographs. Armatron, America's watch. With Tiger's new electronic Jeopardy, you can test your knowledge with over 1,500 questions from America's most challenging quiz show. Anytime, any place, anywhere.
Tonight on Como 4 News, a ferry takes a dangerous detour right into the Seattle waterfront. The exclusive pictures on Como 4 News at 11 o'clock.
Who's walking down the streets of the city, talking with everybody she greets? Who knows the soaps and answers your questions? Everyone knows it's Cindy, and Cindy makes funny eyes at soaps with wild story minds. She'll take you by surprise. Weekdays at 3.
Cindy Reinhardt, weekdays at 3 on Como, ABC 4.
It's the only network you can play at home. Game Show Network, where it's all play all day. Buzz your cable company and get in the game.
She divorced her first hubby, a preacher, but her next two weren't so lucky. I'm Elisa Jaffe. On the next Northwest Afternoon, the greed and lust that drove the Black Widow to mastermind the murder of 2 husbands. That's Monday at 3 on Como, ABC 4.
First for local news, Como.